because we're having trouble trying, like, because it's so, when it comes to these, like, really heavily coordinated actions, it's hard to I mean, that's the brilliance of Occupy is like one thing, one blah, and then like all this stuff happened, and people could understand that one slogan, like Occupy Wall Street. It was like a few syllables, and we all just went because it was very simple. And to just deliver like the simple, like having the framework for the really simple, like boom, C-bomb, all of this. Here's some maps. Here's some other stuff, and then having a more like intensive thing. You know, in there that then we can just throw all our energy at that and then like watch it bloom again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of have a very similar philosophy for May Day. I was going to try to figure out whoever's coordinating whatever it is in May Day, and then all of the info tables or whatever, see if we can get them to distribute, like have like buckets of sea balls and little bags and maps. And the guerrilla gardening zine, and like same with, you know, the In Our Hearts guys that sent out the zine, then maybe like a distribution location with a certain number of buckets of balls, you know what I mean, and trying to make it so that people can, wherever they're interacting with Mayday, they can pick up these balls and at any point in time go bomb the stuff on the map.
Right.
But then we'll have an actual like seed bomb bike ride like thing at one point in the day that is like we're gonna collectively do this instead of like setting out autonomously across.
Yeah.
You know? So I'd like to kind of like plan this, but I'd like to kind of like you take the tools, you take the information, you do it in your own.
It's do it yourself.
You know, which I think is like I think both tactics are really beneficial.
Yeah, no, they're not different. That's we're aiming for the same thing, and we're figuring out the I mean, in a deeper level, it's like finding the masculine and feminine balance in terms of the game, in a way, and like it's that I think it's like open source handbook for doing it, and then here's all the tools you need. In different layers, like the first one being, you know, the very open seed bomb call, and then it's like, and then all right, you want to do like, and then as you're saying, like this more detailed stuff. So it's like open seed bomb call. Here's this, and then here's like a really focused game, with all of the burrows, in a symbolic space or something. And what I know we can do this if I'm having a gathering of really good people who are liking the action, and that we can make this handbook something that we could share in our trust networks all over the world, and say.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the guerrilla gardening thing that I've like started. You know, when I was supposed to speak on, is that it'd be this one handbook, and mostly, you know, inside of I'm trying to strike a balance between like, you know, history of guerrilla gardening and then like actual like tactics, you know. So, but I'm thinking more stuff like seed balls and mud balls, oyster reefs, and like that kind of stuff that people can like autonomously do a little bit with. And I'm thinking less of like the planting a garden at midnight kind of guerrilla gardening. You know what I mean? Like very like urban guerrilla warfare guerrilla gardening. But I want to put it in context of like, I don't want to be able to put seed balls in context of like, the Native Americans were nomadic and they would travel, they would put their seeds in seed balls so that they wouldn't lose them and they would be safe and they could grow these seeds into the fields and they could pop up their crops instantaneously wherever they were.
Amen. Amen, sister.
And I want to kind of put it inside of this like historical context. And then put it inside of the like, okay, here's like the social, economic, and ecological realities now, and this is why that like we need to revert to these tactics, you know, and then throw in there like Bandana Shiva's like freedom statements and and like some bulletin quotes and be like, the time is now, and this is the way that people can take back. I think we can bring back ecology all on our own without having to get a centralized set of permissions to literally rehabilitate landscape.
Amen.
It should be abundant naturally, but we have chosen to destroy it, so it is not such.
Right.
You know?
That's awesome.
And so, and that's kind of my idea behind the guerrilla gardening thing, is it literally would be something that's handed out everywhere. Like, In Our Hearts said that they would copy it till the end of time. They don't have anything like that yet. and they distribute like millions of themes. And so like
Yeah.
pouring it out across all the networks, like e-zines, physical zines, like anybody who wants to use this to create autonomous action, here's our guide to action. Here's how we've done this. Here's all of our tools and materials, and like let's make a movement of this. Let's try to think
Yeah.
like, how do you build it in a way that it creates some movement.
Yeah. Amen. So in terms of the long-term building of that positive in like play-based social benefit and action, with I think if for us like making that space for more things to grow, there's three other events that the group that I'm working with we have basically set for creating more moments like that, and that could be presented in the same manner, which is essentially like here is an open toolkit, and then we don't know how this is going to work, but this is these are like rhythms that we can all take in terms of gathering points in a decentralized manner, so that there's coherence and social action and very clear communication about like in terms of ideals or principles or whatever. That's getting a little too complicated, but they're basically for the like this seed bombing kind of tactic and like the releasing of that as a first distribution in an open source manner, like the guides, and then the second one is actually the Two Rows Wampum Belt, which that I've told you a little bit about it, right? I've sent you something on the Two Rows Wampum Belt Treaty.
Web page, but it looks like you were bowling, and I was like a little confused.
Oh Lord.
They
need so much help with their web presence, but
yeah. It's a bunch of people building, and I was like, I know Ted, so I know it's part of this, like reclaiming the connections of all tribes type of thing that you do. And I was just like, I'm sure he'll explain this more to me, but this seems to be another one of those Native American things.
Okay, good. Oh,
I really conclude.
I thought that you said it was bowling. I thought you said you found a website with bowling.
No, I think in this website it opens up to a picture of like all these people gathered at a bowling alley.
What the hell?
That's like their Instagram photo. It's like them. They're not actively bowling, but they are posed, and it is a bowling alley. And I was just like, and I was like, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but again,
I'm like, dude, this is gonna be awesome, man.
Cool. I was just like, I'll just ask him about the public.
My exuberance.
And I was like,
Oh Lord. Oh man. Well, I'm really glad that you still think I'm sane. Yeah, no, this is you're still entertaining me as the man with the crazy pants.
And I'm actually very grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Well, this thing, the Two Rows Wampum Belt Treaty is the very first treaty between the settlers and the First Nations, given by the First Nations, and it essentially states that it's the will of the Creator that the First Nations and the settlers go down the river of life together. And it's the 400-year anniversary this year.
Wow.
And for 13 years, several people have been planning an event.